Hello everybody, it's Stephen here for the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly episode number 237 for October the 17th, 2023, and we're only about 4 days away from the big event, the Idiot Quilter Retreat. So, everything's in place for that. We'll talk more about it in a moment, but first let's take a look at what other things I've been working on in the last week, and this is one item you have seen in bits and pieces. This is the special table runner that I'm making for a friend for her birthday that's coming up, her 60th birthday. And I think this turned out really great. This is an in the hoop project, sort of. The design for this, it's a Dresden, obviously. I bought a file that did just 1/4 of one of these round blocks. It just did 3 Dresdens, the quilting in the background and all the embroidery stitching in each one of the Dresdens. From there, I duplicated it 3 more times and laid it out in the editing program that comes with the embroidery machine so that we have this medallion in the center. And basically it's just, a flipped image in each corner that creates this. I had to add this little detail here in the center as well to finish it off. And then I made 4 of them. Now, each one of these, to make one block, meaning the whole thing you see here, took about almost an hour and a half. Let's see, what's 60 goes into 60, 2, 3. No, took over 3 hours. 3 hours to make each one. And then I made the sashing pieces using the same little detail that was in the center. And then I put it all together, added the borders to it. The only quilting on this is what you see here, these white little design marks. I debated whether I should do any quilting in the border pieces, but I decided no, because one, the fabric that I've used is very, very busy. It almost looks like it's quilted in some way. And also I didn't want to distort these pieces that are in the center. So I did not do any more quilting on this. It does have a extra level of batting or extra layer of batting inside here to make everything even. And the backing is just this black fabric that you see right here in the border. And of course, then I did the binding in the red fabric that you see in the sashing and the little borders here. I think it turned out really great. And I know when I'm really proud of something because it means I don't want to give it away. But I have 2 of these in different colors that I've made over the last couple of years. So yeah. So I'm hoping she's going to like this. It isn't a huge table runner. As you can see, it could be used on a small table, an end table, something like that, a coffee table. Or it could be, centerpiece of a dining room table. I have no idea how big her table is. But anyways, it's just something. She is a sewer, so I know she'll appreciate the effort that went into this as well. And it's something unique. I'm sure she's not going to get another one exactly like this. Okay, so that's one project down. You've seen this in bits and pieces as well. It is now completely finished, and it's all quilted. This is the Regal Trees pattern by Chelsea Stratton of Quilting Life. I actually sent her a copy of this quilt just to show, what I did with her pattern. Her pattern originally was not done in Christmas fabrics, but as soon as I saw this pattern a couple of months ago, I knew this one I want to do as a Christmas quilt because I think it really lends itself to that kind of theme. I'll just show you the back. This is the backing that I used, a little lighter backing. I used a light thread as my bobbin thread, so the quilting isn't really evident here, but you can see the quilting here on the front. And it's I did do a variegated thread on this one. Did I use a variegated thread on this one? Yes, I did a variegated thread of greens, reds, golds, and there might even be a slight pale blue in that variegated thread as well. You can see it's very dense. First thing Walter said when he saw it, oh, that's an awful lot of quilting. That's pretty dense. I wanted it to be dense. Yes, I know this is not my story and I'm sticking to it. It really, truly is. I wanted it a dense quilting for a couple of reasons. One, this is going to be put out at Christmas time. It is really not meant as a utility quilt. It's not really meant to go on somebody's bed or something like that. It'll be out as part of my Christmas decor. And as such, I didn't want something that was real fluffy. If I decide that I'm going to hang this on a wall, it'll lay flat to the wall. Also, I tend to when I had all this negative space, the white space, I wanted to fill in that space because, yeah, I wanted the quilting to be shown off on this particular project. So, yeah. And as I said, that was really planned. Now, I do tend to do a lot of dense quilting because, you spend the time, even if you're using the computerized system on your long arm, as I do. Nevertheless, it still takes a lot of time. And the designs are really nice. I want them to be seen. Now, if you were making this as for the sole purpose of being on a bed quilt, well, you might want to make it a little less dense because you might want to make it a little bit more fluffy. Somebody asked me if you could use multiple layers of batting when you're doing something like this on my long arm. Yes, I can, and I have in the past. I always use 80-20 batting, so it's not really it's about a medium loft, I guess. So you don't usually get a really fluffy quilt out of that. I did wash this one as well, which helps it to puff up a little bit. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And as I said, I sent a picture to Chelsea Stratton for Quilting Life, and just to show her what I did with her pattern. Also, I thought maybe you'd like to see Lucy doing a little bit of the quilting on the Regal Trees quilt. Yeah, mental block. Yeah, so I thought I'd do a little video clip. I'm going to insert it here for you right now.
So Lucy and I are working on Regal Trees today. She gave me a little problem at the very beginning. She was breaking thread. I replaced the needle. I'd already put in a brand new needle, but sometimes it happens. There might have been a little burr. Also, I'm not sure about my bobbin holder, so I switched that out as well. And cross my fingers, don't say too loudly. Lucy is cooperating, as you can see. This is snowflakes and swirls, and I'm using a multi-colored thread. You can see it over there on the back. And this is going to take a while, because this is a fairly complex pattern. And, well, we'll see how she does, but I'm liking it right now.
Yeah. Now, I am very pleased with this one, in spite of the fact that maybe I should have used a little darker background color so the beard would have stood out a little bit more. However, after I got it quilted, and I used the same quilting design as I used on Regal Trees, it actually made the beard stand out a little bit more. So that old saying, it'll quilt out, is probably true. Either way, I am happy with it, with the end result. This was a lot of work. There's a lot of half curves or curved piecing in this. And, it's the one that I explained last week came with a special ruler, or I got the special ruler for it that made making those curves fairly easy. And it's not huge. It's a wall hanging, but I really like it. And yes, Santa is winking at you. And I've had several people tell me it looks like me. Wasn't my intent, but yeah, I can see what you're saying. My beard isn't quite that fluffy with it, but everybody loves Santa, so I don't consider that an insult. I consider it a compliment that I look like Santa. Yeah. Okay, so that's done, and I'm really happy about it. Now, I've started working on, but I'm afraid I have not gotten very far on the kitties, the Scrappy Kitties, Scrappy Cat Quilt. This is the one that you all picked for me to do in the 4S Club Collab Challenge. So I have 4 of the kitties done in out of 23. I'm going to start working on some more this week as well. I've got a million little projects happening right now, and I'm trying to get a lot of them finished up because a lot of those projects are for Christmas and for the retreat in December. So I want to get those out of my hair as well. But in the meantime, I'm working on this too. So yeah, it's coming along. I've had some trouble, as I explained last week, with the pattern. I basically had to rewrite the pattern in order that it made sense to my brain. And I have put a few pieces in backwards, the wrong way, whatever. I have torn them out. The pieces are all exactly where they should be right now in these 4 kitties. And I think I have it down now to a system for keeping things straight, laying it all out, sewing pieces the right way. So the rest of the cats as I go along should actually speed up. The process should speed up a little bit. But nevertheless, I've got a lot of kitties to do. Yeah, this was the pattern I wanted you to pick. Little did I know. But it's coming. It's coming. So it's, you think it's really simple, but it is a bit of a challenge. It really is. Especially, as I said, if you're geometrically challenged like I am, it is so easy to get pieces in the wrong order or in the wrong position. So anyways, that's coming along. Okay, so let's see, what's that take me to? What's happening? Well, of course, Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen this coming Wednesday, as always, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. All are welcome. Now, update on the retreat. Okay, I do have about 2 spots. They just opened up today. So if you want to be part of the retreat, send me an email now, and I will add you to the list. And I will send you all the information and everything that I have been sending out over the last little while to everybody else that's registered. I really thank those people who let me know that something happened in their life that they would be unable to attend. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry that you can't attend, but life happens, right? And it just means that maybe there's a couple of more people here that would like to join us. So I need to know this though, and I need to know it. I need to know it before Friday. So basically, I'll cut it off on Thursday. Those spots, if they're not filled by then, because yeah, we're getting down to the deadline, aren't we? And just a couple of things. Okay, so those of you that are registered got a very extensive email at the first of this week. I sent it out. It explains to you the agenda for the day of the retreat. It has the links for the retreat, the Zoom links, and for the cocktail party that we're having the Friday night before. So this Friday night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you want, we're having a little social event so people can meet each other, because there's a lot of people, and I'm sure nobody knows everybody. I certainly don't. And we're just going to have a little fun. Play a couple of games. I'll talk a little bit about some business things that go along with the retreat. And if you've got something you'd like to show us while you're on the cocktail party, usually the cocktail party is a much smaller group than the retreat day, of course. So, if you're a little self-conscious about showing something in a large group, this might be for you. Bring your favorite beverage, bring a snack or something. We'll go on from about 7 till probably about 9 o'clock, couple of hours, whatever. Yeah, it's just fun. Getting to know other people, in a little bit more intimate atmosphere. And I may have a couple of little games that we might play as well. And yeah, it's just always a really good time. So all those that are registered for the retreat are invited to the Icebreaker Cocktail Party. Now, it's not an obligation, okay? I mean, if you can't make it, you can't make it. I won't be doing any sewing or anything during that. But, I mean, if you want to, if you're watching it from your sewing room and you want to do some sewing as well, you're more than... Yeah, you can. Okay. And I've had a few people ask me if somebody else in their household, their significant other, spouse, whatever, who may not be part of the retreat, but is there in the house and would like to join in on the cocktail party, can they come? Yeah, sure they can. Of course they can come. Not a problem at all. More the merrier. It's the way I look at it. So that is on the Friday night. So that's October 20th, this Friday night coming. And it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you already have the link for that in Zoom. And as I'm speaking about the Zoom, I'm not recording the Zooms or anything like that. This is not going to be posted on YouTube, so don't worry about that. And it is not a YouTube Live, it is a Zoom. And in that email that I sent out, there was some links to videos that show you how to use Zoom with whatever device you happen to be connecting with. Okay, so... Oh, yes, and just a reminder, if you can change your name, if your name isn't your name you registered with just before you log into the retreat, please do that. It'll make my life a lot easier. If by chance you can't do it, you don't know how, whatever, when I let you into the retreat, I will, and I'll do the same thing with the cocktail party, I will be asking you who you are, your first name, your last name, and I can change it as well. This is a security feature. This is just so we don't have any undesirables trying to crash our parties. Okay. All right. So something else I received this week, a couple of things I received this week as surprises in the mail. So I'm going to show you these lovely bowl cozies. These came from one of my regular subscribers, Sue Norfleet, and she sent these to me, and you notice there's an ice cream theme to this fabric, and that's because Sue knows that I definitely enjoy my ice cream, and she said these are great for keeping your ice cream bowl cold, so your ice cream doesn't melt. Mind you, when I see ice cream, it doesn't get a chance to melt. I've got it in my mouth before it ever thinks about melting, but I really like them. They're really cute, and thank you so much, Sue, for these. It's a very nice gift. And it makes me want to maybe try my hand at making some of these. I wasn't really interested. I know a lot of people make bowl cozies. They didn't really appeal to me until I actually got these ones from Sue, and I'm thinking now, another project to try. Yes, so thank you very much, Sue. I really, really love them. And Denise, now let me see, I hope I'm saying Denise's last name correct. She's another longtime subscriber, Denise Sundquist. I think I'm saying it right. If I'm not, I apologize. She sent me these cute little felted gnomes. They're absolutely cute, and I've got them hanging up, as you can see. In fact, you'll see them every time you see my sewing machine in the back wall, and I love them. They are so, as I say, so fluffy, but it's really, really cute. So thank you, Denise, for those. That was another very, very nice gift. Okay, so speaking of gifts, guess what came in the mail? Besides the bowl cozies and the gnome garland, I got the Missouri Star Quilt Christmas box, and I have not opened it, and I will not open it. It is sitting in its shipping box over in a corner, waiting until December. In December, Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches and myself, we will both be doing what we did last year. We will be opening the box together and reacting to each of the items in it. So that's not going to happen until the first part of December. So stay tuned for it. I have no temptation at all. It's out of sight. It's out of mind right now. I'm kind of like that, though. I will not open gifts before the day of when you're going to get them. I hate that. I hate opening Christmas presents before Christmas. I hate opening birthday presents before or after my birthday. I like to do all of it on the day of. Okay, I'm just kind of, what do they call it, OC about that. But I've always been that way, because what's the best part about a gift is the anticipation of the gift. That's why I never want to open them in advance. I want to do it on the day they're designated for. So stay tuned for those videos. They're not coming up until December, so. Okay, so I'm going to continue now with part 3 of my sorting my small quilted projects out. And here are some more things that some of them I forgot I even made. Okay, what the heck is this mess? Okay, this, no. Actually, I think I like the back better. It's Tim Holtz fabric on the back. I don't know. I guess I was mixing batiks and, well, they may all be batiks in the squares. It must be my own design. Yeah. No, that's not going to be a gift for anybody. I'll just hang on to it for future reference, I suppose. Okay, put those back in the bag, because this bag is marked table runners, so I know what's in it. Yeah, probably shouldn't be storing them in this kind of thing, but I don't care. Not for these. All right, what's in here? Oh, what's this lovely little... Ew! Ew. Do I have 2 of these? I have 2 of these. This is an ew. This was an experiment. Leftover Christmas fabric. Placemats. It looks... I think I purposely went wonky, but who knows? And then I thought I'd try and disguise the wonkiness by putting on some... I did some embroidery on it. And yeah... These don't work. No. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Oh. Oh, look at this. I decided to use my serger to bind it like a napkin. Yeah, not a really good idea, I don't think, in this case, because it's wonky. Yeah, okay. Not something that I would give to anybody. All right, what do we got here? Ooh, something called odds and ends. So what is this? All right, so this is a pot holder, I guess, with a pocket. It's a in the hoop embroidery project, but it looks to me like I decided to finish it off by doing, yeah, it looks like there might be some Insulbright in this, so it could be, it could be a hot mat. I think I was experimenting with some things. And again, I decided to use my serger for going around the edge. That was a mistake. Oh, these are interesting. I must have been experimenting with the embroidery machine because I made a couple of these. Maybe I had the idea I was going to make a quilt doing these. Yeah, no. Actually, I'll set those aside. They should go in my orphan block. I did not make this. This was something I got at a retreat that somebody made. I'm really not sure what it is. I have no idea what you're supposed to do with this. I don't remember from the time what they said, but yeah, they made this little chicken. Oh, there's another orphan block that should go in my orphan block pile. And this was an experimental block to see how this would turn out. I made a whole table runner. This was an in the hoop embroidery project of all of these squares. It turned out really nice, and it's upstairs in my dining room where I keep my table runners for my dining room table. So that's going in the orphan block. I guess this was another little thing that I tried out on my embroidery machine's little pocket. This could be a cute little gift for a kid. Stick some chocolate in it, some suckers, something like that. I think everything that's in this bag is basically stuff I experimented with. Yeah, like this one. Why not? I think I was experimenting to see if this would make a napkin, but it didn't. And actually that stain on it, that's embroidered. Cute idea. No idea. Okay, this is another orphan block, but this one is already been layered. And I embroidered on it, and I think I used the embroidery machine to quilt. I was probably experimenting to see what this would turn out to be like. Yeah, garbage. Oh, I think this was a napkin, but it didn't make it. These designs should be more into the corners, and I didn't get them there. It is serged. I serged my napkins, and I could have done a better job of the serging on it. This is looks like another orphan block or whatever this is. Let's go into my orphan block pile. What I do with the orphan blocks is I'll do a little improv. I'll stick them all together and see what I come up with. This is something I did, blue work. Is that what it would be called? I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. There might have been a pattern. This might be a Delft pattern, which is a form of pottery famous in the Netherlands. I don't know, and I was trying it out on my machine. Again, that's an orphan block. Let's go in the orphan block pile. Ooh, what the hell is this? This is scary. Okay, this is painted fabric. I was playing with painted fabric. I actually used my jelly plates for this and paint and printed on the fabric, and then I was just seeing how that would turn out. That was an experiment, a complete experiment. Yeah, I'll put that in the orphan block pile. Oh, it looks like there's a series of experiments here. Yeah, these are all fabric that I printed. Oh no, these came from, okay. I did these originally on paper, then I scanned them into my computer, and then I printed them onto fabric. I was trying a technique of printing on fabric, and that's what all of these were. These were paint pouring. Yeah, that's what these are. This was paint pouring. Did it on a substrate, like paper or something I did it on, and then I scanned them into the computer, and then I printed them on fabric. Similar, this one I did with a stencil. And and I never went, and there's one right there. This one is interesting. This one's actually bonded to something that feels like paper. I don't know what that is. Or maybe I never took the paper off. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. No, that's sticky. This must have been some kind of a sticky back. I don't know. I don't remember. And this is another... Yeah, this was another attempt at a napkin. Just not the right size. For one thing, that embroidery pattern is too big for a napkin. And I made another one of those similar. And then I was playing around with some steampunk images that I had bought that had sort of a Christmassy theme on them. And I was just printing them out to see what they might look like. Don't know what I had in mind for this piece. I don't think I had in mind for anything for it. And there's some other interesting little thing here. What is this? Oh, I was playing with applique. And I was experimenting with some dies that I had that were left over from my paper crafting days to see if I could cut them out in fabric. At the time, I didn't have an AccuQuilt. And yeah, I could print them, or I could cut them out. And then I just put them on this piece, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do with this one. It might be something that I could work with. I think I'm going to put it in my orphan block pile. And this was something, you've seen it in past videos. It's my In the Hoop Door of the Month that Dine came out with a few years ago. And I must have started this one, and something happened that I didn't finish it for some reason. I can go in the orphan block pile as well. So those are odds and ends. And quite frankly, I should just throw this whole bag of junk out. But I'm not going to. I probably should. Like, am I ever going to use it? No. It's just garbage. Okay, what else is in this basket? This is running a little long. Okay, this is the very first quilting that I ever did. This is sort of what got me turned on to doing quilting. This was a project that was with my Cricut Maker machine. I've always had Cricut machines, and this, when they came out with the Cricut Maker back 7 years ago, probably, they advertised it had a rotary cutter for cutting fabric. Well, in my opinion, it doesn't work all that well. So I don't really use it for that now that I have an AccuQuilt and all those kind of things. But I had never done applique. I had never done quilting. I found a cheap sewing machine, cheap Brothers sewing machine at Costco, picked it up. no intent of doing quilting. I was just going to use it for paper crafting and things like that. But I made this, and it kind of got me interested. So I investigated more about quilting, and well, we know where that has led to. But on this, I was trying different techniques, not realizing what I was doing. Like, basically, this was applique, but I didn't put any applique stitches around the butterflies. I embellished, but using glue to glue on some little pearly things and that. These are squares, and I actually did quilt it. Oh God, what a mess though. I think I was trying to do stitch in the ditch. I probably didn't even know what stitch in the ditch was at the time. I just was, doing some not so straight line quilting on there. I even did a little hand stitching. Yes, believe it or not, because I hate hand stitching, for these little trails from the butterflies. I'm going to keep it because this was really the very first piece I ever made. And it's ugly. I actually used to have it hanging up in this room before I redid it as my sewing room. What else is in here? An empty bag that says table runners placemats. Okay. And these are things. Okay, this is a table topper. Loose thread on it. This was an In the Hoop project. Cute. Yeah. Could be a gift for somebody, but I'm not going to bother. Okay, these came from last year's, they're pot holders, or hot trivet things, except they don't have any Insulbright in them, so I don't know if I trust them to put them on table. This was part of Jenny Doan's Christmas box last year. They're cute, and I made them. And, yeah. What else is in here? Oh, I made a little pouch. Looks like I did it out of scrap fabrics, and I put a zipper in it and everything. It is not lined. I guess I was playing around with the idea of making something like this. And, okay. Well, why are these in here? Because this is Christmas stuff. Christmas socks. And there's nothing wrong with these. I probably made a bunch of these and filled them with some candies, I think, and gave them to different people at Christmas time, but I got quite a few of them here. And I even added some embellished freestanding lace embellishments to some of them. So, yeah, I forgot I even had those. Well, those are keepers because they could be potentially used as Christmas gifts again. And what's, yes. Okay, there's a coaster. I think this was a pattern that Adam Sews got his hands on and recommended from somebody. They're just little storage baskets. I decided to do them as Christmas things, and yeah, they sort of turned out. I remember I didn't really enjoy making these, but yeah, they're okay. Need to be a little filled out with something. I don't know. I could probably use it for something at Christmas time. But yeah, anyways. Well, that's it. That's in all of those. So this was, I don't know, I hope you found it interesting with my commentary about all this stuff that I have found in here. I forgot I had a lot of this stuff. That's why I need to go through the Lucy room. And there's a lot more out in the Lucy room that are bigger, like quilts and things, which my plan is down the road, start digging those out and deciding which ones I'm going to give away as gifts, which ones I'm going to donate, which ones I'm going to keep. So stay tuned for that video at some time in the future. So that takes us to a subscriber's quilt of the week. This one comes all the way from France, from Nadine Logan. Many of you may know Nadine if you're a regular on our Wednesday Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen sessions. Then you have met Nadine because she's usually a regular on there as well. And she sent this picture of a beautiful creation of hers. This week's subscriber's quilt comes from Nadine Logan, who lives in France. And Nadine sends this lovely Lone Star quilt, and she writes, "This afternoon after work I finished my Lone Star. It was a real pleasure to quilt it by hand. We can clearly see that this is the first time I've done it. Not all my stitches are regular, but I love doing it. Merci, Nadine. So this is a beautiful quilt. I love a Lone Star, but this is an exceptional beauty here that Nadine has created. And all of it hand quilted, which is incredible. Look at the quilting. You can definitely see it. It works so well with this pattern. I love her color scheme. I'm not usually a fan of oranges and yellows and that kind of thing and shades thereof, but in this particular quilt, I think it makes it very, very stunning, and especially the fabric she's used in the border as well. It really complements the Lone Star, and she's picked this motif up here in the center of the star as well. So this is definitely a well thought out project and very well executed. Thank you, Nadine, for sharing it with us. So that takes me to the YouTube channel of the week, or YouTube video of the week. And this one is called How to Use Crayons on Fabric for Stitching Projects. The title of this really caught my interest. I don't know if I'll ever get around to trying this technique, but here's what I'm talking about. This week's video clip is called How to Use Crayons on Fabric for Stitching Projects. If you're looking for customization in your textile fabric quilting adventure, then you might want to check this out, because this is a very interesting take on how to add color and graphics to a piece of fabric that you can incorporate in any kind of project, including quilts. I did learn a few things about this. I have not tried this yet, but after watching this video, I might just give it a go at some point in time and see how it works out for me. So if you're interested in doing things that are a little bit more mixed media, a little bit different in your quilting, then you'll want to check out this video clip, How to Use Crayons on Fabric for Stitching Projects. So a future project is a project that I said I would never do another one of these because I hate doing them, and that's a Bargello. However, this is a pattern by Donna Jordan of Jordan Fabrics. It's a free pattern, and she calls it the Simple Bargello. And instead of doing it all in really long strips, and those of you that have done a Bargello know what I'm talking about, it gets very complicated because you have these long tubes that you make, and then you're unstitching certain parts of it to get the Bargello effect, and it becomes very, well, for someone like me, as I said, geometrically challenged, I get lost. I've done a couple of Bargellos with mixed success over time, and this is why I said, okay, done that, not doing that again. However, this particular one by Donna Jordan is done a little differently. This week's future project that I would like to attempt is a Bargello. Now, I've made Bargellos before, and to be honest, I don't like making Bargellos because I get really confused with the very long strips of fabric that you have to unseam at certain points and reorganize in order to get the overall effect of curvy spaces when you're using straight cuts. But this particular Bargello appealed to me because instead of doing it in strips, you do it in blocks. And I think blocks are much more manageable than the long strips. Of course, this is a pattern by Donna Jordan from Jordan Fabrics. It's one of her own, so it is a free pattern to download, and the link is in the show notes. And with all of Donna's patterns, I find them very easy to follow. Lots of graphics to show you how things should line up, as you can see here. And yeah, they usually work. I have only had one that I had trouble with, and ironically, it was another Bargello pattern that Donna had created. But this one I've got sitting in my project box, and I've already picked out the fabrics for it. Not sure when I'm going to get to it, but it's there. So you can download this, as I said, for free if you want to give it a shot. So I do not have a teaser for a interview this week. I'm out of interviews, and I'm kind of out of ideas of who to interview again. If you have suggestions, I'm all ears. Just take a quick look, though, at my playlist called the Idiot Quilter Presents, and you will see all the interviews I've done in the past, so you'll know that if there's somebody you're considering, and I've already done them, well, you don't need to waste your time sending me that information for it. Please don't suggest Dave of Dave's Craft Room because he doesn't want to be interviewed, as far as I know. I've sent him 3 messages over time and he just doesn't answer my emails. So I'm assuming he doesn't want to be interviewed, and that's fine. Not everybody's comfortable with being interviewed or whatever, or he's just really, really busy as well. But the reason I bring that up is simply because at least once every other week, I get someone who suggests doing Dave from Dave's Craft Room. So, yeah, I'm getting a little tired of explaining to people like, thank you for the suggestion, but no thank you, because, yeah, for what I just said. But anyways, just check that out. See if I've done quite a few interviews. Somebody the other day said to me they didn't realize how many there were there, and they were going through the back catalog of the interviews. So, yeah, and especially if you're new to this channel, you may not realize that I have done those interviews. So they're in a playlist. They're all there. You can check them out. Okay, online fabric stores. Okay, this one is one I didn't know anything about. I have never seen a listing for it in searches on Google. And it was kind of a nice little surprise because it is here in Ontario. It is near Ottawa, and it's called the Ottawa Valley Fabrics. This week's online store is one I have never heard of before and never have come across in any listings on the internet, which is really weird. But it was brought to my attention by one of my subscribers, Rented Lips, Jan, and she lives in that area, so she's actually checked them out before. But I thought I would as well. So this is their homepage, ottawavalleyfabric.com. They're having a 30% off sale at the time of recording of this on all their inventory. Orders over $150 are shipped free. I imagine that's in Canada only. You'd probably have to check with them what it would cost for international shipping or to the States. They have over 7,000 bolts of 100% cotton fabrics, which is good. And they list just some of their other things as well. Now, they do tell you right up front, too, quantity is in quarter-meter lengths. So they're saying 4 units equals 1 meter, or 8 units equals 2 meters. So that's good to know right up on the front page. And I always look at the very first page of any website to see if details like that are given to us. Now, we didn't have anything about shipping except for the $150 or over is free. So we'll have to look into that further. But let's go in and check out their fabric. All of our fabric. Okay. Now, I don't know if I'm too impressed with the way this is organized. It looks like it's in alphabetical order, and they start with 108-inch backings, and they have quite a few of those by the looks of things to choose from. They range in price from about $4.50 for a quarter meter. Oh, there's some as cheap as $3.25. So $3.25 would be, for quarter meter, would be $13. So $13 a meter up to, let's see, it looks like $6.50, $6.75, $7. Okay, so that would be $28 a meter. Anything higher than that? 28. Oh, yes, they have something at $8.75, so that goes up too. And that would mean that that would be $35 a meter. So, yeah, there's quite a range of prices here. So, but if you take a look, they have a lot of wide back fabric to choose from, which is nice. And their prices, depending on what you get, are, from low to high. So, there's a range in there for everybody. Okay, now what if I want, though, what if I didn't know the name? I guess I can do a search. They do have a search up here. Okay. Sort by price, low to high, date, new or old, feature, best selling. Yeah, this kind of setup I don't like. I like the left-hand panel that gives you the name of the company or the designer and themes and things like that. This is one where you're going to have to browse to really find what you want. And if you are interested in browsing 500 pages of, and they said over 7,000 fabrics, then go for it. You'll be in your element. Okay, so that's all fabric. What about pre-cuts? Oh, we got pre-cut bundles. Here we go. Yeah, nothing really here to write home about. We do not have a good selection, and some of it is already sold out. And price-wise, like Starry Night, $57.99 from Northcott. Includes one each of Christmas wreath and Christmas tree panels and 10 green fat quarters, gold metallic green snowflakes tree wreath. Okay, that's not... It's a fat quarter bundle. Includes... Yes, and 10 fat quarters and a panel. Or 2 panels. Well, that's not that bad for that bundle. It would be nice if you could see what it looked like, though. And you can't. So really, their selection on pre-cuts, not that great. Let's see, what else have they got? Well, let's check out their kits. Kit-wise, well, they have a few. They have 3 pages of kits. Okay, yeah, nothing's really grabbing me here. Prices are about what you'd expect. But really nothing is grabbing my attention. Some of this is really kind of old, like this one, Warp Speed. That's been around for a while. Okay, so let's look at... Oh, sorry, they do have their fabric right here. By color, by manufacturer, by theme, by fabric type, gift cards, contact. Okay, I take it back then what I said about that. Let's look at by manufacturer. In alphabetical order. Well, wait. There's 524 pages of this, and it's all over the place. So, yeah, this isn't any better for finding stuff. It's not very efficient. Let's go by theme and see what we get. Well, again, no, I'm not impressed by their interface at all. Fabric type. Yeah, no, it's really not that well organized for that. Okay, let's take a look at notions. They have Aurifil. No manufacturer. Okay, $17.99. Excuse me. They have bottom line thread. They have 15 pages of thread. Looks like they have a lot of bottom line. Let's go back to Aurifil, since that's the one I'm most familiar with. Okay, well, if you want bottom line thread, they've got it, but if you want Aurifil, it doesn't look like they've got too much to choose from. Excuse me, had a sneeze. Okay, let's see. Patterns. Okay. Well, they have 33 pages of patterns. So I guess, again, if you want to browse, maybe you'll find something you'll like. So, the average, it's nothing exciting. Again, nothing standing out here making me want to, hang around. Now, they do have a section called Quilt and Sewing Gift Items. Again, nothing there that grabs me. So the one thing I'm still not clear on is shipping. So I guess what we're going to have to do is basically make an order and see what we come up with. So I did a little exploratory run here. I put in some items into my cart, and the shipping price was $9.99 by Canada Post, and that was up to $29.99. After that, it increased in increments depending on how much you bought. They do ship to the United States, however, so that's a good thing. And yeah, you really can't figure out what the shipping is going to be until you get to the final stages of checking out, and then it lets you know. Another thing that was very interesting is I put in a certain quantity of fabric, and they didn't have that much of it, so it came up with a little box on my screen telling me exactly how much they had, and they changed the amount to whatever they had, which I thought was kind of a good thing. I have not seen that feature on any other websites that I've gone to. So overall, my impression though of the Ottawa Valley Fabric, it might be worth checking out their store, because I do believe they have a brick and mortar. If you need wide back fabrics, they have a great selection and the prices vary. But for most everything else, I didn't find that they were anything that special beyond any other kind of stores that are online. And shipping was not a sensational price. It wasn't bad, but again, nothing here that really entices me to make this my go-to online fabric store. But as I said, if you're interested in browsing the fabrics that they have, if it doesn't bother you that it's broken down and organized in a very concise manner, then this might be some place for you to explore. Explore. So this is the OttawaValleyFabric.com. So that brings us to the end of this episode of the Idiot Quilter. Again, Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen this coming Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come and go as you please. Work on whatever you want. All are welcome. Link for that is in the show notes. And of course, the retreat. The Icebreaker Cocktail Party Friday night, the retreat all day Saturday. So it should be a lot of fun. Should be. It will be. I know it will be, because I'm going to make it lots of fun. There are prizes as well. And don't forget, we have guest speakers too. So yeah, really looking forward to that. And I hope you are as well if you're signed in for it. So that's it for this week. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.